Hello, my name is Ramona McKee with QuickToStitch.com.
I'm Reagan Dickinson with Graphics Pro.
This is Charlie Calvary. You're listening to Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by Terry Combs RG, Regular Guy, and Aaron Montgomery.
The place to be for industry news.
The best dad jokes on earth, along with relevant topics to apparel decorators.
Prepare for the wow.
All right, welcome into the show. It is Friday, March 28th, 2025. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery from our Success Group, and I get to guide business owners to more clarity and confidence, away from stress and anxiety, and that's a big part. Two Regular Guys is just a pillar of that, Terry, where we get to talk about all things that make us fall deeper in love with what we get to do each day, and education, learning, big part of that. And I know today we're going to have a lot of education and learning opportunities with a wonderful person who's a fellow regulator as well. But Angie is with the Shirt Shack in Ohio, and she's going to be joining us here in a little bit to talk about business to business selling. I've had an opportunity to meet her on several occasions. Most recently that I recall, Angie can correct me later if I'm wrong, but at the Impressions Expo in Atlantic City a couple years back. And just such a great, wonderful conversation with really good depth of knowledge. And she's done a lot of work to build her business, and she's willing to share some of those things with us here today, Terry. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That's awesome. And a lot of our listeners are either in that business or interested in that business. So this should be a great show, but make sure you stay till the very end for the secret sauce. I'm going to be bringing the sauce today. It's another screen printing back to basics, the right film output package.
Ooh.
So yeah, it is going to be more than one sentence. There's more to it than, hey, just go buy a printer.
Buy what I'm selling. Wait a second, huh? Unfortunately, that is what you find out there. So I'm glad that we're going to get a little more depth to it here today. I'm looking forward to that secret sauce, Terry. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, before we get into that, though, we need to get our friend Marcia Derryberry from Screen Printing Magazine in here. I'm starting to think that the people that are bringing the news, Terry, are really enjoying themselves too, because we always kind of joke with Adrian, where in the world is Adrian now? But we're gonna have to do the same thing with Marcia here. So where in the world is Marcia now? But let's find out and hear some of the happenings going on in the industry right now.
Absolutely. Let's hear from Marcia.
Is it working? Oh, okay. I can't see. It's still doing the URL. Okay. Hi, regulators. Did you miss me? You know what a transient hobo I am. I don't like to be at home, so I broadcast from exotic places like the Denver airport by the ticket counter. So today I really am somewhere cool. Sedona, Old Town. Not Sedona. That's where I wish to be. But equally as good, Scottsdale, Arizona, in Old Town, and my old favorite haunt, the Cigarro Hotel. So, of course, I wanted to give you a pool view, and I'm stuck behind a cement wall because the pool's not open. So I was trying to be cool in here. But real quick, Terry and Aaron might remember about 7-8 years ago, I guess we were here at the Cigarro for a ThreadX conference. And like every good college student, we skipped our afternoon classes. I was alone at the bar doing the ISS conference program, and they were broadcasting to regular guys. So I did a little impromptu cameo, and that was a lot of fun. So I figured the guys would get a kick out of it. I'm back at the bar, and I am in Arizona. So Terry, just let me know what time and how many margaritas you want me to bring for you and the fam. Anyway, okay, real quick, I talk fast and I got a lot to say, but I don't want to take away from Angie's time. Two of these stories broke several weeks ago, and I mentioned them, but I have since been granted one-on-one exclusives with some pretty important people. And so I wrote online exclusives about it from my point of view and also some cool pictures and stuff. So the first one is about that Printing United ASI show pavilion debuting. I want everyone to know, because I don't know that it's been made clear. I certainly didn't when I reported on it, but this is for the 2006 Printing United show, not the one going up in the fall in Orlando. So anyway, this strategic alliance opened up some business opportunities, bringing print and promotional products together under one booth. We all see it and have to believe it. The industry convergence continues, and it's a good thing. So this interview was so cool because I got to interview the top brass at Penn United Alliance and so I got to look some up on my phone. I got a note here. Penn United Alliance and Tim Andrews, the president of ASI. So it's Ford Bauer, CEO of Penn United Alliance. This is why I'm looking at my phone because I could never pronounce Dave's last name. Dave Leskiewski, who I believe is president of the Alliance, and then Tim Andrews, president of ASI. So it's just a cool one-on-one. I asked them a bunch of questions, kind of share their perspective on the collaboration, what it means for the printing businesses on all aspects of not only printing, but decorating, and obviously that includes apparel, but in the promotion space, direct to object, which is something screen printing covers a lot. We talked about in the industry trends that are driving this convergence and how U.S. professionals. The second thing is again about that cool SARS Health conference I came out to 3 weeks ago in Chandler. Here. It seems that Arizona's my second home lately. But this one's from my perspective, not from a press release, and it's got a photo gallery. You know me, someone as old as Terry and I will get my old reference because I think I'm a knee slapping Becky Green. I'm a young man, but I know I'm not that funny, so I'll try not to be so stupid. But anyway, there is a really cool slideshow, even one of me in front of a hot pink feathered step and repeat with a neon sign holding 2 llamas. It's worth the wait. And then it ends with a very cool video of me and my good buddy Karen Bellinghausen, who's the vice president of global communications for Stalls. And ironically, I don't know if you can hear the song the guys are playing. I think it's just backstage, but it's that song, "This Is How You Do It." So I actually figured out how to put music to a video, which shocks my 30-year-old children. So anyway, this print on demand summit was really, really cool. The 2 important messages that kicked it off, the see it sameness. And I love that phrase. Isn't taking the decorating business anywhere in a marketplace more competitive than ever? And that's from our friend Jenna Sackett, Saul's Print Engagement Manager. Premium and apparel prints are brand identity in motion. And I love that quote. With the ever-increasing print-on-demand movement, printed apparel and products are moving to the next level to build stronger identity and brand awareness. There was key discussions on emerging technologies, market shifts, long-term industry implications, and it provided the attendees exclusive insights and strategic foresights. They had great panelists and speakers, many of whom I've never heard of. Also, a lot of the experts from Stalls who've been educated with them from the very beginning, even before they were pioneers in with their Stalls TV years and years ago. So it's all about also the expanding role of AI in POD. So go ahead and check that out. You've got the link there. And then, because yes, I think I'm so funny, I'm trying to hold it together here for just a second. I'm going to get rid of my cursor. So
All right. Well, the internet was not working in Marsh's favor there, but we will make sure that we get all of the links and whatnot into the show notes there, and along with the cutout of what Marsha had to share there. So yeah, appreciate her.
I think the server actually just showed up with her mimosa and she just hit the, okay, I'm done.
That makes sense. That makes way more sense. No.
But Marcia, right there in Scottsdale where you are, hop on Shay, go up over the hill, Fountain Hills, DJ's Bagels. It's best breakfast bagels outside of the greater New York City area. So make sure you do that while you're hanging out in
Scottsdale. And use Terry's name and you'll get a 10% discount, and Terry will get a kickback.
Or they'll be like, oh, get out.
Don't use Terry's name. And okay. Well, thank you, Marsha. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you taking some time. I know she's on kind of vacation a little bit there too. So really cool of her to pop in here and bring that news. Again, we'll have the links for you to go check out what she was talking about there and see the pictures and all the good stuff. So Eric also put them into the chat, so you can already be looking at that stuff if you're a live listener right now. All right, Terry. Well, let's we got some more things to cover here, but I want to talk to some of our regulators as they pour in here this morning. And so we've got Rena Cooper checking in bright and early here. Good morning to you and happy Friday. Absolutely. Love that. We've got King Terry Crafts saying good morning as well. And Cassie, also share Cassie Green from the Apparelist, who is another one of our intrepid editors that we get to enjoy about once a month here or so. She says, morning from colorful Colorado. Love hearing where my fellow editors are adventuring at. So very cool there. And let's see who else has checked in here. Doug says, hi, everyone from West Hills, California. And wants to apologize, Terry, but Western Bagels has won the West. So.
That's my first thought when I go to California. Where can I get myself a good bagel?
I did not know that you were so into bagels, Terry. There are new stories that we learn every day. Okay.
I did live in New Jersey for a couple of years, so
that's true.
I did consume a lot of bagels.
So you became a bagel connoisseur. All right. Well, so we'll point you to the right place to get chicken wings and now bagels. So now we're going to have to change the logo. So we're going to have to talk to Chris, right? Was it Chris or Mike?
Chris did our logo. 13
Chris, if you could go ahead and start putting a bagel in there too, we'll be happy.
He lives in Manhattan, so I'm sure he has a lot of experience with bagels.
There you go. All right. Well, the other thing that we love to do here, and we believe that you guys love hearing it, or at least shaking your head to it, is our weekly dad joke. So, Terry, you've got a good one here according to the outline. So are you ready for that?
I'm ready. Let's do it. All right, Aaron, what do you call a detective who solves all his cases by accident?
Yeah, I don't know what you'd call that, Detective Terry.
Sherlock Holmes. For our podcast listeners, Eric is putting on the screen Eric and Sherlock Holmes.
I had not seen the banner, so I was curious how Eric was going to get that explained. Lots of head shaking. And the crazy part is our guest is still waiting in the wings. So that's a good sign when we don't run him off with the dad jokes.
Exactly. That joke reminded me of Who is Harry Crumb, 1989 movie, John Candy. Look it up. It's a classic.
Okay.
All John Candy movies are classics.
There you go. Very true. All right. Terry, well, we got some housekeeping to get out of the way, and then we can get our guest in here.
Absolutely. Before we dive in, we want to thank everybody for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We need your voices. We would love to have our regulators participate in the show intros that you heard at the top of the show. Yep. Go to, osg.link/intro. You changed it up on me there. Yes, and read a few sentences to be a part of every show. We are always looking for new guests. So if you or anyone you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys to book a future episode, or email us at info@tworegularguys.com with your show ideas. If you are listening to the podcast version of the show, we would appreciate you sharing the Two Regular Guys podcast with all of your industry friends so they can become regulators too. We would appreciate you giving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, wherever you do your podcast listening, we are there. And if you're watching us live right now, please join in with your comments and questions on business to business garment decorating.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I did switch it up, Terry. So I appreciate you getting that. I like to keep you on your toes. And then Kim Johnson mentioned that you're special. So he's special.
I don't think he means that in the way that it sounds.
Well, okay, let's leave it at that. We're going to get way off the rails, and we've already gone far off the rails today. So, all right, well, let's do this, Terry. Are you ready? Let's get our guest in here and get this back into where we need to head. So if you're ready, Terry, let's bring in Angie.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see, get Angie in here. There we go. Good morning, Angie. Thank you so much for being here and just welcome into the Two Regular Guys podcast. Now, I have been very careful not to use your last name because I didn't want to butcher it, because I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your last name when we started, and I'm terrible at it to begin with. So can you share a little bit about who you are?
It's Angie Meese.
I was going to get it right. Okay, good.
You were. See, I had full faith in you.
Oh,
I
thank
knew
you.
you were gonna get it.
I should have
Um,
gone with that. Yeah.
so I am a single mom. I have two kids. And I started this company because we went back to school shopping after COVID, and there's my daughter was in sixth grade, and it's that in between age of we're not quite a teenager, but we're not shopping for little cutesy clothes anymore.
Yeah.
So I went shopping, and it just wasn't. It was like, okay, these are going out clothes, or these are, our kids' clothes here with the footy pajamas and everything.
Yeah.
So I bought a Cricut, um, and about, I don't know, weeding a design the second time, I said, this is not for me. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
And then I started with sublimation. Um, Really fun, a lot of work,
Yeah.
a ton of work.
Yeah.
Did that for close to a year,
Okay.
not quite a year. Went through about 4 sublimation converted Epson printers,
Okay.
and then stumbled onto Impressions Expo and heat press transfers, and we just kept going from there. So I have 5 stores in 5 different states.
Wow.
I have my online store. I have a TikTok shop. I have an Etsy store. We use Shopify for our website, and now I go to trade shows and learn more so I can teach more.
Love it.
Not everyone gets the opportunity to go to some of these expos, and they're jam-packed with some information. So I just like to share my story and how I got to where I'm at, in hopes that it helps someone else.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so incredible, Angie. I love that. And, just finding your way in, but then finding a way to also give back. I think that's so incredible. And obviously that's what Terry and I have done here, and why Eric gives of his time, right? Is just an opportunity to give back. And so we're all in the same boat here. I think we're all in the same wavelength of why it's important to share your story, and then share what you've learned and let people take inspiration from that. So very
Are
cool.
and you're
Absolutely.
at ground zero for screen print transfers. It all started back in the '60s in Columbus, Ohio. So
Mm-hmm.
probably 2/3 of the transfer companies out there got their start right there in Columbus. So
It's a pretty awesome area, and I have stalls and Transfer Express right up the road from here, an
right,
hour and a half
terrific.
drive. And then we use 613 Originals a lot. They have backed us since the beginning,
Oh, man.
and have been phenomenal for us. So, and when we go to different shows, we go to Florida State Fair every year, and they have a location right in Newport Richey, and it's an hour drive there, get transfers and
Oh,
jet back to
sweet.
the show. So, we have really, I guess, through the years of coming to the trade shows and Impressions Expo and meeting everyone, everyone's been so gracious. A lot of people know that this industry is very much a male dominated industry, and being a female in this industry, um, you guys personally have been amazing, through teaching and everything. But there's a different path that females have to take when we're coming into a male dominated industry. We have to know our stuff. We can't hesitate. We can't think about anything. We have to go with information. And that's the big part of this today, is that I wanted to come on here not only to share my story, but so other people know, especially females, younger girls, even kids that are growing up with wanting to do this, that it is possible and it happens. And there is hard work that goes into it, but it's a work hard, play hard kind of thing.
Yeah. That
Awesome.
speaks to us too, Terry.
Yes.
Man, so good, so good. Well,
That's
we've
for
got a
another
lot of
show, right?
ground to cover here. Go ahead, Terry. Sorry.
No, I said that's for another show. But
Yeah.
yeah. Let me dive in with this discussion on business to business sales strategies. What types of businesses have been the best partners for you, and for especially for our listeners? How did you find them?
So I would say automotive shops, automotive repair shops specifically. Um, they they've been really good to us. They've let us in the door. Initially, we got t-shirt sales first, and then we added on hat sales. And then we're getting ready to add on some more promotional products, koozies. Um, and just glass cans we've added tumblers to them. They're very much I think someone that's overlooked when we go out and we think, who's going to buy a t-shirt,
Yeah.
who's going to buy t-shirts in bulk. They have people, the one shop that we do a lot of business with, they're not just fixing grandma's car. They're rebuilding hot rod cars, race cars, performance cars, and they have money to spend, and we have money to collect. So that works well. Gyms. So your local gym, we have a powerlifting gym in the area that I work with. We have a CrossFit gym in the area. And I say start with the people you know and then branch out from there.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We love niche markets. In fact, every month we do an entire show on niche markets. But Aaron, aren't you going to jump in and make fun of me? Because in every screen printing class I've taught for the last 20 years, I say, okay, the bread and butter for screen printers is Jim's Towing Service, phone number on the back.
I don't know why you assume I'm going to make fun of you, Terry, but maybe it's been a habit of mine. I'm sorry.
I wanted to say it before you did.
The other thing that I think is really powerful here, in fact, Cassie Green, as you were sharing your story, said powerful, right? And I find it really interesting, right? As you mentioned, coming into a fairly male dominated industry and what that took and what that meant for you. But then you went to a pretty male dominated industry in car repair and building cars and things like that. So I love the unity of the whole thing. And Eric says high turnover and frequently replaced garments, love auto repair as a decorated apparel customer. I think those are really, really awesome. I guess the other thing that I would love to hear from you, Angie, this is a little off of our not off topic, but kind of flowing with what we're talking about here is, you talked as you were sharing, you started off kind of making what people might consider like a retail, here's my designs, but and you've got your Shopify stores and your retail locations and things like that. But you're also finding that there's a lot of opportunity for business to business sales in that as well, right? How do you balance those things?
So I have a really unique approach to this. I have these stores. I go to festivals. I do all these outside events, indoor events. It doesn't matter. Travel to Florida. Um, I have t-shirts there. I have regular retail shirts there, but I'm not there for necessarily to sell one t-shirt. While I do sell one t-shirt often, I'm there to network. I'm there to build relationships. I'm there to find the local businesses, and people come up, hey, this is my business card. Can you put this on a shirt? Absolutely, I can put it on a shirt. So it is about connecting with the community, but it's also out there sourcing new leads, new areas, new leads. That's what we focus on.
Wow.
We do sell the retail stuff too,
Sure.
but you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on if we're doing a nonprofit, a for-profit, they have different spending schedules, and you're going to have gaps in there where you need to fill the gaps. And that's where the retail side comes into it too.
Yeah.
And plus, I get to put my own spin on things on the retail side and not, hey, here's my logo, put it on a
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
shirt
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So
Sure.
it's fun to do. And we press on site. So even if they have a logo, and they just need a few shirts, we can press on site, um, just run home, make a transfer real quick and come back, slap the DTF on a shirt, and they're ready to go. And it serves as their sample shirt, but then it gets the business in as well.
Wow. Look at that. I mean, you guys that are listening in right now, I mean, we're 5 minutes into the conversation with Angie here and tons of gold already. In, what I'm hearing is, getting yourself out there, but looking at the bigger picture of it, right? Like going to events. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, well, I did some events, but, I barely covered my cost in what I sold at the event. And you're going, yeah, that's fine. I built relationships that then grow my business. And I think that is brilliant. So
And I
appreciate
don't
you.
necessarily care. Like, if we don't break even at an event, and there's only a few events we do that we don't break even. One's a home and garden show, but who's at the home and garden show? All these construction companies, and guess who also goes through clothing like crazy? Landscapers. Landscapers demolish their clothing every single day.
Yep.
So we get in front of that crowd too. So the profit is nice when we do shows that people are out there to buy more shirts, but sometimes it's educational too. And you don't want to discount one or the other, because a dollar is a dollar and dollars keep you in business. So
Yeah. Brilliant. Love it. Oh, so good. Yeah. Yeah. Landscapers, handymen, you think about all, like you said, home and garden show, what a perfect place to go set up, not to sell shirts, but to build relationships. And that's perfect. So I guess, Angie, share with us also then, I know you're going out there and you kind of got that bigger picture view, but it seems like you also been able to really kind of have a clear strategy, right? And so I guess what I'm asking is, you're building these relationships with customers, kind of heading towards getting them to say, yes, I would like to buy from you. Is there kind of anything that stands out to you that you might think people could utilize to help kind of set up those yes conversations, and how might that look in a process?
absolutely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 3 blank shirts. I'm gonna take 2 printed shirts. One's gonna be a screen print transfer. One is going to be a DTF transfer shirt, and then I'm gonna take 3 of my top sellers as far as shirts goes. One is, it's depending on where I'm at
Yeah.
as to what I'm doing. I will normally take some kind of moisture wicking shirt. I will take something from Lane 7. They've backed us on a lot of stuff.
Awesome.
And we always incorporate their brand into things. And then I'll just take a either an independent or a live and tell with me. I'm not taking Gildan. Not that I don't believe in that brand. I love Gildan. We use their soft style every single day. All of our vendor shows, it's Gildan soft style. If I can't get that, then it's a Gildan 5000.
Okay.
But I want to showcase different brands. I want them to touch them, feel them, see what they like. They keep the shirts. I don't take those shirts back. Those are their samples. I said, wear them, wash them, do whatever you need to them, wear them out in the field. And we don't secure the yes that day.
Yeah.
That's why everyone is such in a rush to get the yes. The yes is not an instantaneous decision. So we check back with them in a few days. Hey, did you wear the shirts? Sometimes they say no.
Yeah.
Most times they say yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we meant to, but we didn't get to it. But yes, we're going to wear them. So we have to set up yes questions. That's the most important thing. Ask them yes questions where you're guaranteed to get a yes.
Yeah.
Get 3 or 4 out of them. You're going to get the 5th one. And the 5th one is, yes, I'd like to place an order. Because when we get them in the habit of coming off of that no and figuring out what the cliffhanger is there, right? Like, they're like, well, I'm not too sure. Great. You don't have to decide today. But by the way, what's stopping your decision from being a yes? What is our hurdle? Once you figure out their hurdle, then you can transition that no, maybe, not quite sure into a yes. Do we need to talk to someone else? Do we need to bring someone else into the conversation? Is it the price? Is it the turnaround time? What is your point that you're so concerned with? And then when we solve that problem for them, we automatically get the yes.
Oh, man, that's so good. So good. I love it. And like you said, just kind of being in a rush, right? And I kind of feel, at least what I'm hearing you say is that you're coming really from also a place of kind of an abundance mindset where, yeah, I'm leaving them the shirts. I know that there's going to be enough business, whether or not, So I think sometimes we kind of get too deep into this return on investment mindset where I got to analyze the numbers. And I'm not saying to go give away willy-nilly style, but I appreciate your confidence in the fact that, you can make decisions like that and keep moving forward.
And I have a gold nugget for you. So this is
Okay.
the most important part of this whole yes conversation
Okay.
is you go, whether you screen print, whether you get transfers, whatever you do, you put your business information, all of your contact information on that neck label, tear that tag off, put a code on there. Put a code so 0001 is your live and tell. 0002 is going to be your lane 7. You know what those codes mean to the shirt. And when they're ready to order, say, hey, just snap me the picture of the label, and that has all the information I need. So it takes the guesswork out of it. So you don't have to give them different colored shirts. You can give them the color they like. So then from there, they also have all your contact information. So say they're not ready to make that decision yet. They're not at that point. And in 3 months, they still have your phone number, your email address. They have all your information. They have a QR code on that neck label. And all they have to do is scan it and they can get right in touch with you.
Oh, that's super good. Super good.
Yeah, you've definitely figured out the formula for this.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love that. And you can describe exactly what your formula is. Now, you've talked about the face-to-face at festivals and things like that, but are there any other tools or platforms you use? You mentioned doing samples as well, but social media content, how else do you reach your business-to-business customers?
Social media is huge for us. We do a lot of social media. I'm in the middle of a new website rebrand right now. So it's always tweaking it to your audience. My audience is forever changing on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Those are our 3 big platforms that we use. We also have a newsletter that goes out, and then we also have text message blasts that go out as well. So we make sure that we're always in the device at some point. So they're going to get a pop-up for their text message. They're also going to get an email with the same information. And then they're also going to see it on Facebook. So what you want to do before the festival, and a lot of people don't, they just show up to the festival. They don't properly prepare for the festival. What I mean by that is, are we preparing shirts? Absolutely. Are we preparing the tables and the tent and all the stuff that goes into the festival? Yes, we are. We're preparing that. But have we warmed up our audience? No, we haven't. We've not warmed up the audience. We might have posted something on Facebook. Hey, this is our weekly schedule. Nonchalant, just throw it up on Facebook post. That doesn't work. It helps. It doesn't work. We are running Facebook ads in that direct area. Hey, we're coming to your town. These are the designs we're going to have. We're excited to see you. Come out. We're giving away a free t-shirt. Businesses, drop your business card in, and we're going to send you a marketing packet on how to get your brand out there and how to get better leads, which is just a small document that I put together. But part of that contact information is them giving me their business card, me pulling their logo, and then putting that logo on a shirt, mailing them the shirt, not necessarily dropping it off, but mailing them a shirt with their logo and a packet of information with the neck tag that we've already talked about. It's on there. So that's kind of how we handle those shows a little bit differently. We're not going to call them, not going to bug them. I will send them an email, and I will ask them if they want to be added to the newsletter. It's not required, but we just try to celebrate their business a little bit too.
Yeah,
I love it, man. If our listeners aren't taking notes right now, you're going to have to go back and listen to this again.
Yeah, we can. I mean, this obviously a topic that Terry and I care deeply about too, because you're hitting all of the right notes here. So, okay, I want to kind of hang in this couple things, and I want to get back to Doug's question here in just a second. But kind of to what you were just talking about it there, Angie. you talk about how, you've got your three main platforms, you're doing emails, you're doing texts, and things like that. What's your take on kind of the consistency, worried about being too much versus not enough, some of those, I think, kind of conundrums that a lot of people in our space go through?
Okay. Well, what I live by is if I'm too much, then you can go find less.
Mic drop. Let's go. We're done.
I'm not going to fit into your box. I'm going to be loud and proud of my brand and my business, and I already know what they need, and that's where the breakdown happens. You have to walk in there knowing what they need and telling them what they need without telling them what they need. My mom would have said something along the lines of, well, I gave your dad a really great idea. He thought he came up with it on his own, but it was really, I was telling him what I wanted him to do.
We are
And
simple.
that's how
And,
we have to walk into this. We have to walk in happy, excited, energized, and telling them a story. That's where Terry comes in. We have to tell a story to get them hook, line, and sinker, and then they're all in. When you build rapport with people, they're invested in you. When they're invested in you, then they support you. And you cannot go, "Hi, my name's Angie. I'm from that shirt shack. I was just checking in to see how you were doing today." No, they're gonna hang up. They're gonna hang up. But if you come in with the energy, they're gonna be locked in and ready to hear what you have to say. But that is your very first meeting. That's when you drop the shirts off. You got to hook them right then and there.
I love it.
And you got to tell stories every once in a while. You got to summon your inner Terry, and you just got to roll with it.
I am so using that, Angie. Thank you. Well, and I love your energy though. Like, it's not like over the top energy, but it's this quiet confidence, I would call it. And I think when we can harness that, because I think we all have that inside of ourselves, but we have to harness it a little bit, right? And that sounds like what you're saying.
We got a tip for that too. If you are not this outgoing person, go grab you a Monster. I don't care what flavor Monster you have. Chug 3-4 chugs on that, and then walk into the meeting. By the time you get in there and introduce yourself, and you walk in that door, that Monster's going to kick in overdrive, and you're going to be the most energetic person in the room. You're going to be the most interesting person in the room, and they're just going to start laughing. When you get people to laugh, you get people to buy.
I love it. We need to get Angie an affiliate link there. Get your Monster Energy drinks and sell more stuff.
Absolutely.
That's so I was just thinking the same thing. A little brand drop there.
So we've got Doug said, I'm going to rewatch this. Absolutely, 100%. This should be on repeat in the background. Becky Kotzer says, just joining. Happy Friday. So Becky, definitely rewind here. And Cassie just with a big yes. So we're heading down the right path here. So I promised I wanted to get back to Doug's question from a little bit earlier when we were talking about the home shows and that type of thing. So Eric, Doug said, I walked around home shows talking to vendors. What types of designs do you sell at these shows? So Angie, I'd love to get your take. And I have a little thought here too, by the way.
So I take 1 or 2 landscaping plant themed designs. I don't go overboard on them. However, home and garden shows are right around Easter time. So we will take our Easter shirts. We do 2 faith-based shirts. We do 2 fun shirts and 2 kid shirts that are all centered around spring and Easter. The really unique part of where I live is I live just outside of Amish country. So whatever we don't sell for faith-based, Easter-based, spring-based goes straight out to our Amish country store. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's faith-based, it will sell within the first 2 weeks of it being there. And then I will have to restock it, which is currently what I was working on this morning, a restock.
Cool. I love it.
So it's also knowing your local area too. I don't bring in new products that I don't already have a plan for after the show, because realistically, we're probably not going to sell out. So what am I going to do with this afterwards? Especially seasonal stuff. There's a very limited amount of time. In Ohio, we don't run vendor shows very often, from November until June. So what am I going to do with this shirt afterwards? We can't just let it sit on a shelf because it's not making us money. We
Yeah.
have to get it out the door. So have a plan for what you're going to do out the door. And I will say on the vendor events, specifically, we bring between 4 and 6 new designs to every event. Something they've never seen from us before, something they've never seen before at all. And then we offload those to some of our stores when we get done with that. But it's always being relevant and always having something for them to look at that they haven't seen again to kind of catch their eye in the very front.
Yeah. Love it. Wow. Okay. We got to get some of the regulators that are jumping in here too. Sheila Ryan
All right.
shared. Oh, wow. This is fabulous. 100% agreed. And then I love this from Eric. My name's Eric and I'm an occasional white monster user. So
Yes, Eric. Yes,
yeah,
that's what I drink too.
there we
20
go.
points.
Awesome. And then Vicky talking about having to or getting to rewatch later says, me too. I didn't get a notification on this. And Vicky, I will just say this though. So this is our 13th year, 10 o'clock every Friday. Just you can set your alarm for that.
It's 8 o'clock here, Vicky.
In Arizona, right? Absolutely. So, all right. That was tongue in cheek, you guys. So just having a little dry sense of humor fun here. Okay. Ramona says, can't do more than pop in to say hi, sitting in the doc's office, catch you all on the replay. Nothing serious, just an eye exam. Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying that, Ramona. All right. So, Angie, you've been giving us all these great nuggets, great ideas, great tips. So thank you so much for all that. If you were to kind of look at kind of patterns out there or whatnot, what would you say when you see or talk to other decorators? What are some of what is the biggest mistake, or maybe, what could be one of the big mistakes that people make when they're trying to, improve their B2B decorated apparel sales?
I would say don't be scared to go after big businesses. Um, don't start. You can start with the little guys if you want to. I didn't. We went straight up to Pace Sandcar Landscaping. It's the biggest landscaping company in the area. And I just went up there, dropped a business card off. Fun fact, I didn't plan on going there that day. But the universe called me to go there because I drove past there 4 or 5 times. I was door dashing. Drove past there 4 or 5 times. I was in my sweatpants and a hoodie that didn't match, by the way. And I went in there and I was like, hi, my name's Angie. I have a local shop. We're right down the road from you guys. Here's my business card. Let me know how I can help you guys. And that was it. That's what happened. It wasn't a secret, it's not a secret sauce. It's not a secret recipe. It's not anything. That day, I just felt a little ambitious. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of being in my car door dashing. I'm going to drop off some business cards and let it go. And then I actually got kicked off DoorDash for the day because I paused it for too long. Because I just started going around all the businesses. I had a stack of business cards, and I said, "Well, when I'm done, still in near pajamas at this point, didn't go back home to put anything professional on, not jeans or nice t-shirt, just going around." And what I got from the first business I went to, she goes, wow, you're like a normal person. I said, I am. I am very much a normal person. I said, I have kids. She goes, do they drive you crazy? I said, they do. I said, that's actually why I'm outside my house right now, because my 15-year-old is driving me crazy. So I just left. And she started laughing, and that's a wrap. It's not anything hard. You just have to put yourself out there, grab your monster, drink it on the way there, and that's it. It's easy.
Here's my business card and a couple of sandwiches I wasn't able to deliver.
Oh, I love it.
And on that topic that Terry does bring up, for our business customers, especially the bigger ones in the area, we have Creighton in town here. They're a big business. I just took 10 pizzas up to them with a business card and said, hey, lunch is on us for the office, and whoever you can feed with 10 pizzas, here's our stuff. Here's a shirt. Ta-da, we're done.
Wow.
So I won't recommend doing that for everybody, but if you do have a big business in town and you want to get their attention, maybe not, maybe go with donuts. Donuts might be a little bit cheaper. I don't know. But pick something just to drop off.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, thank you for your time. Here's some information. I hope you enjoy the snacks.
Yeah. That's such a great
Awesome.
idea.
I love it.
Such a great idea. Oh, Terry, I've kind of avoided the energy drinks unless there's vodka in them. But
You can put vodka in them. It's fine.
That doesn't always
We're
go
not
well.
judging.
So
Starts
time
well.
traveling's a real science, and so you got to be careful with that. But now I'm really actually I may have to go get a Monster after we get done with this. So you've got me sold. But Terry, where do we go from here? This has been such a great conversation.
Yeah, well, lots of changes in the industry over the last few years with the ailment we shall not speak of, and all kinds of things like that. So look into your crystal ball and tell us what you see in the future for the industry.
I just, we touched on DTF. What was that, 2 years ago, Aaron, when we first met?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
DTF was, hey, there's this cool new technology coming out.
Yeah.
But it's going to be full color and it's going to be awesome and it's going to be the next best thing. And then, we didn't really hear too much. And then I did buy an Epson 2100, which I can print DTF on.
Yep.
And I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to just do DTG the whole time. And then I found out that I really do like DTF because it's great. It's portable, right? My Epson is not portable. It's on my kitchen table right now. It's definitely not. It doesn't go to shows, but DTF does go to shows. So I think we're going to see an uptick in DTF. I think that no one pays enough attention to halftones. And that is another discussion for another day, diving into the halftones. But halftones, I think, are going to be our new best friend when it comes to the DTF side of it.
Ooh.
So it's not so plasticky. And it's not plasticky, but sometimes when you get a full print that's almost like a square box across the whole shirt, the shirt doesn't move like we would expect it to. So having that negative space, I think we're going to see a lot of use of negative space coming up. DTF has transitioned into some UV DTF that I think it's definitely hit the market, but we haven't expanded upon the possibilities of UV DTF yet. I think that's gonna have a bigger celebration when it comes to new products. But DTF isn't going anywhere. There's too many different companies.
Yeah, you definitely
embracing
hit on
it.
With the halftones. A couple of weeks ago, our art guy Dane Clement did a secret sauce on how to do halftones in DTF printing. So if anybody wants to go back and take a look at that,
yeah,
Dane is the king of graphics there, for sure. And his halftone, if you can sit down with him and learn anything about the halftones and go back and listen to that. I didn't listen to it, but I've sat in his seminars about halftones, and he is absolutely amazing breaking that down. So hats off to Dane for always breaking it down to consumer level when we need it.
That's a great call. Great call on that, Angie. Yeah. I've known Dane for a long time, and I still love to sit in on his seminars because I'm like, I've sat in this one 5 times and I still get something out of it every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So Becky Kotzer says halftones are on my list to dig into. Doug says going to learn doing halftones. Love it. And then Sean Stewart says people don't buy shirts, they buy what's on them. Always catered to the technology. Yeah, such a good statement there, Sean. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Well, Angie, we could talk all day, and we're going to have you back on soon. I can already tell. Long as you're willing to put up with a few more dad jokes, we'd love to have you back. But and I'm not going to give her space to answer that because we're just going to make her come back. But anyhow, Angie, you've already given us a ton of golden nuggets, so I kind of almost feel greedy asking. But as we wrap up here, is there another piece of advice, a golden nugget that you would love to leave with people? And what would that piece of advice be that you would leave people with?
I would leave them with this industry is scary. At every turn, this industry is scary. However, around every new turn, you have a new opportunity. So even though it might be a little bit stressful, your anxiety might be high walking into that first business and talking to them, just go do it. If you mess it up, guess what? Who cares? There's a million other businesses out there.
Yeah.
So just go do it. Have faith in yourself, believe in yourself. Um, don't practice in front of the mirror because it's going to stress you out, because it stresses me out. Just go out there and wing it. And they might, hesitate a little bit. They might not, but you don't know until you try.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. On every corner, there's a scary thing, but there's also opportunity at that same spot, right? So,
I should put that on a shirt.
Yep. That does sound like a great shirt. Huh. Angie, I want to see that on your website soon.
Okay.
All right. I'll buy one. You got at least one customer. Okay. So Angie, Doug asked earlier, what's the website, but really tell us, how people can connect with you, reach out. Just you're definitely somebody that people need to connect with. So let's get them connected with you.
Facebook. That's probably one of the easiest way. You can reach out to me on Facebook. You can I'm Angie Meese on Facebook, or you can find That Shirt Shack. The website is thatshirtshackohio.com. You can reach out on there as well. And then my email is thatshirtshackohio@gmail.com.
Love it. Love it. All right. Harry, anything that we missed?
No, this has been fantastic. And you're right, Angie. We need to have you back on soon. I'm sure there's going to be 1,000 questions from our listeners.
Absolutely. I'm happy to come back anytime.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Angie. We will talk to you very soon here.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you. Thanks.
Wow. That was jam-packed with golden nuggets.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to have to take the transcript of this and throw it into my good buddy Chad, or Chat GPT, as some might call it, and see if we can distill that down. But Eric put the link in there to get to our website. So go on there. In fact, I just was over there and it pops up. Put your phone number in there. Put your text, so get those text messages from her, and just to learn from her, right? Like there's so much that we could learn in all this. So, all right, Terry. Well, where are you going to be on the road here coming up, and then we'll get into the secret sauce after that.
I'm going to be just down the road. I'm going to be in the Equipment Zone booth at the DTF Expo here in Phoenix. That's actually in Mesa, Arizona. Which is the East Valley. And that's going to be April 1st and 2nd. So next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we'll be showing the new Epson G6070 DTF printer. And we're also going to be doing DTF transfers on the F2270 DTG printer, kind of something that Angie just mentioned on the predecessor, the 2100. My next complete screen printing business course, I'll be in Chicago, Schiller Park, actually by the airport. At Atlas Screen Supply on June 7th and 8th. And then the rest of my upcoming events you can find at terrycombs.com. How about you, Aaron?
Yeah, the next thing coming up for me is I'm going to be hosting a complimentary, free, no charge 2-part webinar series to learn how to set profitable, value-based prices confidently, and then charge what you're worth. They will be streaming live April 4th and April 5th, but they are also recorded. So even if you can't make the live events, make sure that you register. You're going to get access to watch the recordings. Plus, you will get a bonus workbook that goes along with those webinars. So if you'll head over to osg.link/value, that'll be where you can sign up over there. And also, when you sign up, you do get an opportunity to join an exclusive hands-on workshop that will get you into a group of us that will be building custom pricing strategies together. And, that is a separate thing, but we'll feed off of what we learned. The way I kind of go about these things, Terry, is I don't hold anything back in the free webinars. I want to give it all. And then if you want to come and implement it together and do it quickly and in a workshop format, then we do that as a secondary opportunity. So just start by registering over at osg.link/value. And we hope to see most of you there on April 4th and 5th, or at least checking out the replays of those. And speaking of coming together in a group, the group is growing right now and really loving. We're starting to get into more conversations and whatnot. But I would invite you to get over to the Entrepreneur Success Hub Facebook group. You can find it at osg.link/group. I'm trying to set up as many great conversations as I can, from things like abundance and overcoming what's holding us back as entrepreneurs, gratitude, and really anything, right? You got a technical question that you want to talk about. The cool part is it's not just for decorators. It's certainly got a lot of decorators in it, but we get perspectives from all over the place. I just saw my friend Chandler here, who's the executive director of a nonprofit organization, and she's very active in there. So getting all these different perspectives is so huge. So even if you're already a member over there of the group, I would highly recommend you just jump in there today, comment on something, post, start your own post. At the end of the day, my belief is a rising tide lifts all boats. So would love to see you over and active in that Facebook group, osg.link/group. And then as far as Eric is concerned, I will share that real quick so you can prepare for the secret sauce there, Terry. But you can join Eric this afternoon for the Take Up, which is episode 218. Catch up and mail in makeup session. So in this episode, he's going to catch up with the viewers about recent breaks and the upcoming direction of the Take Up, as well as questions mailed in over the last few episodes, including how do you decide which vector and raster software to use? When does it make sense to redraw custom artwork? And he's going to finally end with a couple of quick design reviews and an eye towards technique. Always a deep, really impactful learning opportunity to go spend that time with Eric. So you can join him at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and you can ask any questions, share your insights live, and just be part of that amazing program. Check out ericcampbell.com and click the Take Up tab at the top to find the shows and see more of those episodes. So make sure you are tuning in. And Eric even put in the comments there for us the direct link to watch on YouTube today. And Doug says, I have to get my Friday makeup fix. So can't wait for that. I love it. All right.
Lots of new things going on in Eric's life, new and exciting things. We'll have to have him on to kind of catch everybody up on the Eric Campbell story.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be the title of it, The Eric Campbell Show. Let's do it. He is shaking his
white movies, though.
That's right. That's right.
A new Rocky story.
All right, Terry. Well, we're ready for your secret sauce. You ready to deliver?
I'm ready. Let's do it. All right, today's secret sauce is screen printing back to basics, the right film output package. For all the non-screen printers out there, a film positive is a sheet of clear film with a black ink image that we expose onto a screen. For each color in the design, there's a separate film positive to be exposed. I'm going to start with what not to do. And yeah, I know I'm the guy that says do screen printing however works best for you, but there are suppliers still today selling old technology like it's the latest product on the market. I'm specifically talking about laser printers. We all used laser printers in the past, two decades in the past. We used laser printers because we could print halftone dots with a laser printer. We hated the whole process because we were printing on translucent vellum rather than transparent film, and that vellum would shrink in the printing process, but it wouldn't shrink the same. So we would have to overlap the colors in our screen print designs to compensate for the irregular shrinkage. We could have used an inkjet printer, but inkjet printers at the time didn't recognize halftone dots. As a color printer, the inkjet printer thinks it's smarter than we are and assumes when it sees halftone dots that we're trying to make a shade of color, and it would print those halftones as gray. You can't print a screen with gray dots. But about 20 years ago, RIP software was invented. RIP software is specific for screen printing. That's raster image processor software. And RIP software for screen printing does two things. It tells an inkjet printer to lay down more ink, and when it sees a black dot, prints a black dot. Simple as that. This revolutionized film output. Every image lines up perfectly with the next with an easy to expose dark image on clear film. So back to laser printers. There are still suppliers offering laser printers for film positives, not because they're trying to sell you old and difficult technology, but because they don't understand what they're selling. They sell screen printing products, but they don't understand the screen printing process. So what do you buy? You need an inkjet printer, you need RIP software, you need clear film, and you need black ink cartridges. You'll want an inkjet printer that accepts 13 by 18 films because that's the most common size for screen printers. You'll need RIP software specific for making film positives. You'll need film that's specially coded to accept the ink from an inkjet printer. And you'll need ink cartridges with all black ink. Now, you can't take a black ink cartridge and put it in any slot. It only works in the black ink slot. So you're going to need ink cartridges that say cyan, magenta, etc., but they're filled with black ink. So you could piece all this together yourself, but your screen print supplier will have a package with the printer, RIP software, clear film, and a set of all black cartridges. You're going to save money buying a package instead of buying all the component parts. So get the right and correct film output package for your shop. That's my secret sauce for today.
Delicious, Terry. What a great secret sauce. Thank you for
Awesome.
sharing
Thank you.
all of that. Like I said, normally the advice is, here's my printer, buy it. And that's kind of the extent of it. So,
well, I talk about this in all my classes, and a woman pulled me aside on the break and said, so I shouldn't have a laser printer? And I'm like, listen, if that's what you have, use what you have. And she goes, well, I haven't taken it out of the box. My supplier sold it to me and said, that's what I need. And I'm like, it's still in the box. You call them and return it on Monday. And this happened last year.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's a conversation that I would expect. I don't know how long ago was that? 15 years ago, Terry. When
we were 20, you and I were selling fast RIP 20 years ago.
I was going to say maybe it's more than 15. I'm just trying to not feel so old. Okay. Wow, what a great show today, Terry. I'm just for you here. That was a great conversation across the board. Enjoyed really having Marcia in and always getting great to see her and where in the world is Marcia at? And thanks for being here. And then Angie, man, what an impactful program today, Terry. So appreciate her time.
Well, Adrienne from DTF, what's the name of her? DTF Printing. She's also in Arizona because she's putting together the DTF Expo. So,
gotcha. I thought maybe everybody was there just to see you.
Probably not. But we also want to thank our show producer Eric Campbell for everything he does, and he's in a whirlwind of activity, and even more now. But he's here getting the show put together as well. So we always appreciate that, Eric.
Yeah, definitely, always much appreciated, and all the head shakes and all that stuff. So love you, buddy. All right. Well, Terry, next week we're efforting. We don't have a specific show yet. So if you know of anybody that we need to be talking to, we've got some feelers out to a few people, but haven't been able to kind of work the schedules out yet. So more to come, but otherwise we've always got a great host show that we can bring you as well. So just let us know, regulators, but we need your help. We need your feedback and support on continuing to bring great shows to you every week.
All right. Until next week, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And that was the Two Regular Guys.
Here we go. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Two Regular Guys. We're here because of listeners like you, and we're so grateful to have you on this journey with us. For more valuable insight, be sure to visit our website, 2regularguys.com, and join the conversation on our Facebook page. And hey, if you or someone you know has expertise, a unique perspective, or a story worth sharing, we'd love to have them as a guest on the show. Just reach out. Remember, success in this industry isn't just about the equipment you own or the techniques you've mastered. It's about the mindset you bring and the connections you build. Keep learning, stay curious,